Ava's calling him tonight.
Hello? No, hang on, I'm gonna put you on speaker. All right, are you there?
Yes,
Okay, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'd like to say a prayer.
Go ahead.
We pray we will be able to work as a team. Give us the wisdom to pursue the needs of our community and make decisions that will best serve our township. Amen.
Anybody recording? I know I am. Township is?
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay. Making a motion to stick to the agenda.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Correspondence. Anything?
No.
Oh, that was simple. Okay. Motion to accept the minute meetings from May 5th, 2026.
I'll second it.
I'm just scanning down through before I,
Okay, I already did, sorry.
No. Yeah, I just want to double check. Yeah, it looks good at this point. We got a second from Danny. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay. I'll go over the financial reports. Make a motion to pay all the bills, monthly bills and whatnot.
Do you have a second?
We either need Danny or Ava to second.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I
I
know.
was just looking.
No, that's fair. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Okay. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much, Ava. Appreciate
You always
that.
have some used to saying that.
I know. Township report, road crew. Bobby, what's happening?
Grading is done for the most part, except for like Andrews Lane and I call it no seasonal roads.
Okay.
We had to buy 2 backhoe tires, thank you. You jinxed us. We blew a tire, so we bought the 2 new front ones
Okay.
for the backhoe.
And you got,
We have a spare now. We kept one of the best of the front and kept it for spare.
okay, and so we got good tires, and are they the I want to say the road
Not
ones?
for the backhoe, no. They're not a,
More an industrial one.
yeah.
Okay. So they're not going to get 50,000 miles at 900 miles an hour.
Depends. Let's hope. The Mack Granite.
Is that
That's the same truck that we had issues with before,
okay?
and the main cross member between the rear duals is broke. So that is out of service permanently unless you want to put more money into it.
I mean, what are we looking at to try to repair that?
At this point, I have no idea other than what we were looking at when we looked to reframe it.
Okay.
That was 30 grand before they even looked at it. So
Yeah,
we've already put quite a bit into that truck as it is.
I mean, I guess the next question I have is it worth putting anything more into it?
My opinion, no.
Okay. Well, on that, your opinion sways heavy because You haven't led us wrong so far.
Well, and that's the truck that hopefully we put the grant in for to replace in September, so unfortunately, we kinda need it, but at this point,
Can't just like put a 2x4 or
Right.
something in there and call it good. Yeah, so we're gonna definitely have to be looking to replace that. And are we on track for dust oil tomorrow?
as far as I know, yes.
Okay, secretary has spoken, she says
Yes.
yes. I heard a yes. Danny?
Yes.
And you're leading that?
Yes.
Do they what, strap you to the hood of the truck and you just wave a flag or what?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll be inside the cab.
okay, that's nice.
Also, I know we've had issues in the past with keys and having to change locks on the building and all that with previous.
Okay,
But the new mower guy needs a key to the building.
okay,
He mows on weekends when the weather providing, and he's had issues, and we're getting called on weekends to have to come in and help him. He can't get in to get oil, or he has a flat tire, he can't get in to get the air. But he needs a key to get into the building.
We have an extra key.
okay, I was saying, Ava, you have any problem with giving a key to the mower guy?
Not if Bobby doesn't have a problem.
If you feel good about that, I don't have a problem with that either.
I mean, Terry had one
Yeah,
when he was doing it, so,
Just make him sign something, and he has the key, and it's to be returned at the end of the season.
but he can't,
Yeah.
right,
Right?
but he can't get in,
yeah,
he can't use a grease gun, he can't get air if he can't get in
No.
the building.
that makes sense, so, I say we should, not, do we have to make a motion on that, or we just, say go ahead and, get him a key and, probably sign a receipt saying that he's got the key. Okay,
So we have one key left. There's one key left in the office.
cool. So, okay, that sounds easy enough. And, just, someone tell him to stop by and see,
I'll let him know.
Joe will be here Thursday. He's here Thursday.
I was gonna say, Jolene can take care of that.
Or tonight we can give you a key.
Oh, that's better
If
yet.
we have one, that'll work better yet.
Yeah, we'll
Cool.
get one.
So, that'll work. Okay, is that everything on for the road reports?
No, Cummings Road, I would like to start that next week, but that's up in the air as far as material, and Tim Robeson has not got back to me on that, so I'd like to start that next week if all possible.
Now, what you were mentioning to me earlier, it sounds like you've got quite a bit of new material down on roads.
We've got just about all the material that we bid down this year. I think there's 2,000 ton left out of the.
I was gonna say, are there any tires left on the trucks after, it sounds like you've been running them right off. Now, that's not a bad thing. I'm going like, wow,
We bought some, but
so, it's like, cool,
We did have a good email for the road crew, thanking them for filling the potholes that they had a problem with by their road, so just a comment on that.
Any negative ones?
None to speak of.
Wow. That's like, what, 3 months in a row? Good job, Bob. Excellent job. Anything else?
that's it.
Okay, cool. Old business, Centerville Road, PennDOT project dust oil applied on roads involving the Johnson Road, Detour, Randall Sturban, Hanlon Hill, per Dean Enterprises. Now, if I understand that correctly, our secretary decided she had bulldog mode, and she just went after these guys, and she found out a way to get dust oil, because people are rerouting and putting extra heavy traffic on the extra roads because of Centerville being down and Johnston. And, they're saying, hey, we're getting tons more traffic and we're getting dusted right out. And it's just not in the budget to be able to put down lots of extra dust oil. So our bulldog of a secretary, she chased, I don't know You called everybody. I think she called the governor, but whatever she did, you did not call the governor. Everybody's shy of it,
But
you know, but
it was just some residents had some concerns and complaints, so we got it addressed.
that is an understatement. They have some dust oil, and dust oil is going down for regular stuff, so that's awesome.
Dan was a part of that too because he rode around with the truck, so.
Yes, you know. So thank you, Dan, for that. Thank you, Sarah, for excellent job on that. Township dust oil is scheduled for June 3rd, and it's looking good for that. New business. Okay. Subdivision, Ronnie and Sheridan McQuinney. Okay.
Is that an actual subdivision or just a transfer?
Just, basically, it looks like just they're taking off a parcel of land, you know, to make a couple, let's say, proposed lot is 18.71 acres vacant, been used for agricultural.
So it's minor subdivision.
Well, yeah. In other words, major subdivision is where they're like putting in whole housing development. See. Bobby, did you want to take a quick look at this to see if you see anything that could be a problem?
I was just questioning it
Okay.
because I know Ron passed away.
Yeah,
I know
with
the
the-
transferring to the son is the only reason I question.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a case of carving up little bits here and there and straightening it out.
Right.
It's basically just an FYI, they're just letting us know
Yeah.
that they're doing it.
Yeah, it's just one of the deals, just going through, and I don't see anything to be going, oh no, we're in trouble, you know.
Right.
Yeah, still a shame having Ron McQuinney gone. So, okay. And actually, mentioning Ron McQuinney passing, on Sunday, if anybody was not aware, Gary G., former supervisor of Ridgebury Township, passed away unexpectedly. Yep. I guess he laid down for a nap and never woke up. So that's a real shame.
That's the way to go.
Well, you're right. That is the best way to go. You know, but it's still a shame.
He was a hell of a nice guy.
And we are going to be, the township is going to be sending flowers, you know, in memoriam. So that is a shame. He was a great guy and he was a good supervisor. So, okay, moving on. Motion to move $50,000 from the general money market to a CD with C&N Bank. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
David, do we have to vote on the McCooney? Do we have to?
I don't believe it. I think that was just kind of, you know, heads up on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, we are making some changes to the employee handbook, you know. Now does this, each one get broken out separate as a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought so, but I'm just making sure. Number one will be, each employee will be responsible for a percentage of the coverage for health insurance, which will be determined by the supervisors. I'll make a motion, you know, for that.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Um,
Number 2, the employee will be responsible for paying full price for any dependent coverage. Make a motion on that?
I'll
I'll
second.
second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Secretary's duties will be set forth in the second class, correct, I'm gonna word that again. I'm gonna make a motion that the secretary's duties will be as set forth in the second class township code book.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Make a motion that the treasurer's duties will be as set forth in the second class township code book.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those last two, it had been brought up a couple of different questions about the duties of the secretary and the treasurer, and we realized instead of having arguments back and forth, let's make sure it's spelled out very clearly so we don't come back to those arguments again, and make sure they understand who's doing, what they're expected, what's to happen, where the limits are on everything. So, and hopefully that should, take care of some questions in the past, or from the past to the future. Now, we have here, sorry? Yes, sir.
Did we find anything out about health insurance?
Ava, did we find anything about health insurance?
Stats when you went to the conventions?
The health insurance, it's the same plan, but they're gonna issue a new number. There'll be a new number coming in the mail, but it's the same exact plan that's been here before.
Okay,
But it's gone up. It's gone up quite a bit of money, so that's why we have to start charging a percentage of what the whole coverage is. It goes by age, and the earlier you get, the more it costs.
That's the insurance, that's through the insurance we have now, though. They were supposed to get information from PSATs about the insurance that they have through
I
PSATs.
did, and it does not any better for the price. I talked to the head one over there that handles the insurance, and it's not any better.
How can they make a motion on?
But we still have plenty of time. I mean, we can always change any time that you should find one that that we feel is better. We can always change companies at any time. We're not locked in, with this one. If we decide we want to change, we can.
Well,
Last time I talked to them, it was not any better, much better. It's because they have a large group too, and I'm surprised it's not cheaper because they have a large group, but it wasn't.
Tim.
How can you make a motion on that? That's pretty big on the percentage. I mean, that's not fair to our employees. And it's tough enough now to get employees to work. And now you're taking benefits?
I can't hear him.
Okay, he was saying that the motion is very vague, and he says here, Tim, I want to make sure it's worded just the way you said it.
Well, you should have the percentage of what you're gonna.
His concern is that the percentage is not actually written down in the motion.
Okay, so we were thinking, we were going over the price increase, and Jolene and I and Sarah were trying to figure it out, which we haven't voted on yet, the percentage. We were thinking 15% would be a reasonable amount. I mean, if you want to vote that in now, you can. We were thinking of voting it in at the organization meeting, maybe. But it's up to you guys if you want to vote 15% in now, or if you want to, look at it, look at the figures and do it next month. It's up to you.
Okay, that's right. I apologize. There's been a lot going on. You and I had that conversation, and we were talking about the actual percentage would be figured out. In other words, we're starting kind of the heads up right now.
Well, I would think you'd wait until you had the percentage before you make a motion on it. That's not fair to them. Is it 5%, 10%, 50%?
No, I'd say
You guys can put it whatever you want.
that is fair. That is a fair argument. fair question. He is concerned because there is not an actual, now, are we gonna be doing the percentage active as of immediately? You know, Ava, is that what was thought?
The tax supervisors, we had told Bobby that, if it did go up, it would go up in January to give them time to,
Okay,
prepare for an increase.
okay, so really, the motion at this point is more of that, it's more of a heads up that each employee will be responsible for a percentage, come January and we have not actually sat down and determined the actual percentage.
Yeah, we're just voting that we will have a percentage, but not what the percentage is.
Okay. Then why, I was saying, then wouldn't it be more, I guess, actually just, this is an FYI, instead of actually making a motion at that point? In other words, we will be making those changes. Or,
It's up to you guys. I just thought if we put in there that it would be a percentage, then we could determine the percentage, when the time comes. But it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
I'm sure you've been, listening in and stuff, and, do you have something to chime in here?
Right now, it's a dollar amount. I think that's what the big change was.
Okay.
Why they were just changing the employee handbook. It's going from a dollar amount to now a percentage.
Okay.
That was the change.
Okay.
Which I think is
Yeah, the
typical.
dollar amount has been there for a very, very long time.
Insurance policy, not a dollar
And it's
amount.
gone
That's
up considerably, so that's why we figured we do a percentage, because that way each year if the insurance goes up, the percentage can maybe stay the same or maybe go up depending on how much it goes up. The township share.
So, I guess Tim does bring up, and I kind of had some questions on this one myself, and maybe I should have thought a little harder. Each employee will be responsible for a percentage of the coverage for health insurance, which will be determined by the supervisors.
That's what a lot of townships do, they do a percentage.
I'm not arguing that. It's I know we were talking about we wouldn't actually have the percentage figured out until January. Are we going to start doing a percentage before January, or is that going to come, January?
It would start in January,
Okay.
unless you want
So
to.
just make
Then
a
promise
discussion.
Okay.
Bobby if it was going to
Okay.
go up, other than
So
the price.
So actually,
We would give them enough warning,
So-
so they said we do it in January.
okay. So we're having this. So we need a discussion. I'd like to actually rescind that motion. For the first one, I'd like to rescind that because honestly, Tim is right here, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Yes, sir.
As far as I'm concerned, we put all that money in Hunter's Lane that nobody hardly ever uses. I mean, we put tons and tons of money into that road. Why are we putting money on roads that's not being used and taking away the benefits of the people that are working their butts off for us? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm the biggest conservative probably in this room. But to take employees' benefits, when there's such a demand right now for gas bulb drivers, I mean, we lose good people because we're taking benefits away from them. That's just absolutely.
No, I think that's why we need to have I think that's why I want to rescind that one and put it more back to a discussion. We need to have a proper discussion on that.
And the benefits we're not taking benefits. It's just a change in what he pays.
So,
They're still getting the same insurance, they're still getting the same benefits,
yeah.
the same insurance. And a lot of companies don't even give you insurance.
Well, can we move that back to being just a discussion at this point? Because since we're not doing anything until January, I think between now and January, we need to have this ongoing discussion and get this all figured out. So, like I said, I'd like to actually rescind that motion, and do I need to make a motion to rescind the motion? Okay, I'm going to make a motion to rescind the motion for the first one on the percentage.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fine.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes, sir.
What do the guys pay for their health insurance? I mean, do they pay a substantial amount right now?
$25 a week.
Right, so what I'm saying is if you take a percentage of the insurance bill, you are taking away benefits. Like if their benefits are basically just a couple $100 a year, and then you all of a sudden charge them 15% of the
That's right.
$10,000 health insurance, then you are taking away benefits.
Well, that's why,
I think
I
it
think
would
that's,
end up going up $15. I think it would go up $15 a month. I mean, a week, 15 a week, I think it would end up going up. Something like that, wasn't it? Wasn't it, wasn't it like 15 or
I
18
I
or
don't,
something?
I have it wrote down in the office,
Well-
I'm not sure.
that is definitely a discussion for when we are properly, better armed on that one with facts and figures in both directions. Pat?
Don't you think you should include your discussion with the employees?
Yeah, I
When
do.
you're selecting insurance and percentage? But
And,
Scott is absolutely right about, you're actually taking away from their salary, because health insurance is considered part of the salary, that's true.
that is fair. That is fair. And like I said, I think that is an ongoing discussion we need to have. So between now and January, we need to sit down and have a couple of discussions on this to figure out
Yeah, it's
details.
fine.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. New heating and cooling system. A couple months ago, I had suggested updating from the window air conditioners and baseboard heat to mini splits, and with room, that way you have room to room control. They'll be more efficient, quieter, just cheaper in the long run. And so right now we are getting quotes, and just trying to figure out what we're looking at for costs on that.
Do you have servers here, computer servers?
No, we do not.
That would make a difference in where you want to put that?
Yeah. Well, the thing is we're looking at this room, the secretary's office, and the office for the ambulance. And that way, in this room, primary times are when there's a meeting. The secretary, you get a good wind. I mean, it's cutting in and around there. The systems they're a little old, and I think they were put in, and when they were put in, they had good intentions, and they're good systems then, but we have better available now. So like I said, at this point in time, we are just getting quotes, and then we'll have to actually make decisions on whether to move forward with 1, 2, because what we're looking at is one bigger system for this room and another system that would take care of the ambulance and the secretary's office. So that's at that time.
If the ambulance feasible to do, seems all nobody's there.
No, it's just the office.
That's what I'm saying, there's nobody there.
Yeah, but the thing is with that, you just really there's not much, since you're going to be using the same compressor, a second head. So
Right, I understand that.
yeah,
But there's nobody in that office any day, so why?
Is it water in it?
Yeah, there's water and stuff over there.
it's just one of those
Wouldn't it
deals.
be smarter to replace the window? A lot of wind comes through that window, can you update the windows?
It's like look at that too. But right now I just said, just wanted to see what a price on mini split system would even cost. So no, it's one of those deals. Looking into it, haven't agreed to anything.
5 or 6,000 just for the units.
Probably, maybe more than that, depending on size
You're
of the
gonna spend a
room.
lot of money on AC, and if you're not also investing on windows, you're throwing money out the door. You really gotta put this together as a whole bucket,
Yeah,
right? Budget that out and then present it, so we all know what that's gonna cost.
and that's what we're doing right now.
You gotta include windows.
And like right at the moment, we wanted to see what just the systems alone would cost. And so right now we have, a couple quotes out, and
I think that reminds
but no, it's just one of those deals, and we will be, looking at what doors and windows and stuff like that, especially the windows would cost update. But one step at a time. Pelton Place sewer repair. Okay. That is the only centralized sewer system we have, in the township, and that is, Pelton Place. And there are some problems there, and we're having Jesse Gerald. He's got to do, I guess you could call it, exploratory surgery to even find out how much it's going to cost to repair it, because we're not sure exactly what's damaged up there. Part of the problem is the system was put back in, was installed in 92, 93, and it needs some repairs. Age is a problem. So I'm going to go up there. So that is more of I believe it's just an FYI at this point. We're trying to find out what it's going to cost. And
I think we should make a motion to hire Jesse to do the sewage repair.
okay,
He's gonna go dig it up at the end of the week and let us know how much it'll cost, but we have to fix it regardless, we don't have a choice. So, and he has a lot of experience putting in septics and sewers and repairing them, so I think we should just make a motion for him to get the job to repair that.
okay.
We don't have to put it out for bid or anything according to the,
Well,
second part township code.
I was saying right now,
I really think you should get some other quotes.
right at the moment, I was going, yes, sir.
We have got quotes, and they range anywhere from 14,000 to 43,000.
How do they know without digging it up?
That's the problem, is without even.
They don't know what they're getting into, that's why there's such a fluctuation in.
Yeah,
in
and
pricing.
And right now, we're looking at, it could be something very, very simple to something very big. So,
It's been neglected for quite some time now.
yeah, and it has not been properly maintained for years. And,
On
yes.
that
I
note,
kind of think we should hire somebody to fix it because we don't want it to be having this issue another
Yep.
whole month.
I think,
Bobby,
on that note, did the letter get sent to Mark about the mowing?
did the letter get sent to Mark about the mowing?
About what he's supposed to be mowing? Because he has not mowed what I marked out where he's supposed to be mowing.
When did you check?
Today, when I drove by.
Okay, because he told me he was mowing this weekend, and I didn't go check. So if you checked it after this weekend, then he does not know what he's supposed to be mowing, if it's not done right.
It's not done right.
Okay,
Some of it he cannot mow because of the issues over there,
okay.
but 3/4 of that can be mowed.
Dave, do you and Danny want to take a run over and look and see if he's doing the job?
Well, Bobby just saying, he just swung by today and he didn't see that it was being mowed correctly.
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear you, Bobby. Sorry.
So does he understand what he's supposed to mow? Like, is it a meeting that should happen between him and Bob and the supervisors all together, so everyone's on the same
My understanding
page?
was the letter was gonna be sent to him stating that he needs to be mowed where we marked out. We put flags.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
I did not send an email.
Well, he don't know then.
Okay, because I've talked to him since then. He says he knows what he's doing.
Okay. Sarah, can you follow up with a letter to say you need to be, and Bobby's got it flagged out. You said you got it flagged?
Put ribbons out,
Okay. Where,
back
that he,
when we looked at it.
And when you looked at it today, or whenever you looked at it, after this weekend, it was not mowed.
The
where
last
the-
mowed is the bed and the path that he mows to get to the bed.
and he's supposed to be mowing up on the bank
He's
there? and
supposed to be mowing all the way up to the electrical panel, around all the tanks.
Okay.
Well, do you think maybe one of our supervisors should go look at it?
Yes.
Because Bobby's saying he's not doing it, and Anthony said he is doing it.
All right.
And if you look at it and take a picture, you can say, well, you're not doing it, Mr. Anthony, because here's a picture.
So, okay. Danny or I can, I was gonna say tomorrow, but you're busy.
I'm
So
busy.
I guess I'm gonna go out and look at a sewer system tomorrow.
I think that we should
Take
wait
a
on
picture, and that way Sarah can send him the picture when she sends him the letter,
Ava,
if it's not done.
Ava, I think we should wait on, to see what Jesse finds out, how much, what we need to do. I'm not opposed to him not doing it, I'm just saying that we want to know if it's gonna cost us thousands of dollars.
No, we're talking about mowing.
I know,
Okay, sorry.
So
I'm
the
just saying.
subject got changed to mowing, we're gonna have to repair to the mowing.
Okay. Well, I was saying, I'll make a motion for Jesse to do, the exploratory surgery. And then, once we know what the actual, damage is,
Then we need to make that decision.
then I guess we're gonna have to make that decision at that point, but it's one of those deals, I know under second class township code, we're not required to do advertising, bidding, or price quotes, for emergency routine maintenance, repairs, placement of water, electric, other public works for the township, if they do not constitute new additions, extensions, or enlargements of existing facilities or equipment. Yes,
But say if Jesse digs it up, then that means we have to wait another month though to vote for him to do the job, right? Or we have a special meeting in between?
Tim,
Why don't you send your township mower down, mow it, then he'll know where to mow. That makes more sense to me. Send your guy that you hired to mow lawns down there and mow it one time and then give up. And then we'll knock down the weeds and everything and then he can mow
okay, Bob, what do you think on that one? I mean, I'm not,
I've said that right along. Let our mower guy mow it and Mark pay his sewer bill and everybody pays their own sewer bill. That way there's no handoff.
all right,
Our own mower guy, we're paying him to mow. That's township property. He can mow that too.
that would solve a lot of problems.
It'd save a lot of headache.
Hey, what do you think about that, Ava? Just having the mower guy mow the, septic?
I don't know what the deal is with that. I know that Mr. Anthony does the measuring of the chemicals and gets a deal for doing that. I don't know if he quits doing the chemicals, who's gonna do the chemicals?
No, because he'd be just doing the chemicals and stuff like that. We're talking about the mowing. Just, in other words, our mower guy just do the mowing for the, for Pelton Place sewer.
Okay, so I don't know what kind of deal he gets for doing the mowing. I'll have to check that out. Do you know what he gets for? I don't know what the deal is on the mowing and checking the chemicals. Is it a package deal or is it separate? I don't know that much about it. Do you know, Dave?
That's one
Or
of
Danny?
them.
I think, so the way I understood it was it's like Ava said, a package, like since he mows and monitors the chemicals and is the sewer operator, he gets his sewer bill paid for
No, I was saying,
all year. So
okay,
I think that was the agreement.
the thing is, I know that was an agreement that was put in some time ago. If nothing else, maybe we just better have our mower guy go down there, mow out the area that's the problem spot, and then tell Anthony from that point on he needs to mow that. That way he can't sit there and say, oh, I didn't see any flags. And then we can revisit our agreement with, Mark as we go on here. Because
And we probably should check with that other guy to see if he's willing to take on the additional job, because he was hired basically to do the park and around the township building. Don't you think we need to ask him if he's willing to take that on, since that's not his original hire?
Bobby can ask him when he gives him a key. So.
Okay. Did you ask him, Bobby?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. So now what are you gonna do about the repair? Are you gonna
Okay.
check the
You know what?
quote and have to look it up and then have a special meeting to hire him?
Thing is, if he's already in there, I say let's just have Jesse Gerald, do this. Get in there, get it done. Unless he finds something catastrophic, terrifying, let's just make a motion to have Jesse Gerald do this. I'll make the motion.
Yeah, I'll second it.
On that note, if
Yes.
there is something major going on with that, we have to go back to Hunt Engineering, not Bill Tilley from Sanitation.
Okay.
Because that was engineered.
Yep.
Bill's aware of the situation, but he says if there's anything major, we'll have to go back to Hunt Engineering.
Was that Tim Steed you worked with?
What's that?
Was it Tim Steed you worked with then? For that engineering?
I don't know who it was back
But-
then.
That's who works at Hunt, that's who's doing
Yeah.
it now.
Bobby was just saying that if there is something catastrophic, we gotta go back to Hunt Engineering on that. But if it's just regular maintenance, well, so, okay, so we had a second and all in favor of having Jesse Gerald go through and do repairs, provided it's not something major catastrophic. All in favor? Aye. Citizen comments, on agenda items. Pascal?
I'm just again asking for transparency on the two accounts, equipment fund and Act 13 account. I want to go on record as asking for transparency in those two accounts. That's it.
Thank you. Citizen comments in general. I apologize, I cannot read the first one.
Oh, that's probably me.
Fair enough?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I got some pictures that you guys took, and I just want to see what they want cleaned up,
Okay,
because some of the cars are on the road, so I would like to know.
okay. Come on forward and
Can you state your name, sir?
Stanley Matthews,
okay,
233 Green Mountain Road.
okay. Okay, Ava, you know, it's like you were,
And they're race cars, that's a hobby.
yeah,
They can't make it.
now, what we have is for, on the ordinance is, one unlicensed, unregistered vehicle per property.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this here's a hobby.
Yeah,
I mean, so if somebody's out there, they play baseball or something, they can only have one baseball in their yard?
no,
Well, that's.
I
about the same thing,
understand,
what I'm
I
saying.
understand. What I'm just saying is, a lot of times what has been asked is, if it sits on a trailer, or if it's behind a fence, we can't say anything about it.
Okay.
It's like if you put up a little bit of fencing, we can't see it, we can't say anything.
What is the point of that ordinance, can I ask?
The ordinance is one that's been around for quite some time, and it's supposed to help keep the world a beautiful and pretty place.
Have you been in Centerville lately?
Yes, I have.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, then, don't you?
And the thing is we're talking about a couple different ones.
This one here, I know years ago I was supposed to have a gate up there.
Yeah, it's,
And I never did it, but I did it now.
We
So
did it in the
I'm
front.
just gonna make sure that it's legit for you guys.
I mean, if you put a gate up, I'm gonna trust you and say thank
Oh,
you.
no.
They're not
I-
supposed to be back there. That's my property.
Nice gate.
Oh, Dave?
So-
Yes.
Dave? There's
Yeah.
also issues on parking on the street, like when it's snowing and when it's not snowing, they're parking on the street and in our right of way.
Yeah, that was.
Right, right, I see that too.
Yeah.
I mean, and I did give them some heck for doing that.
Yeah.
Some of the guys, but I don't know what they were taking pictures of there, because they're all on the road. Licensed.
Okay. And
And everything.
probably one of those things where someone was concerned there was unregistered vehicles, but if they're all licensed, then
Yeah.
they're legal.
And I do see the complaint there. I gave him heck for that one, so, but they're not there anymore, like where that car
Yep.
is sitting so close to the
Yep.
road.
And all I can say is thank you.
Okay, so,
And
but then they give me like 60 days, but I was wondering, like, what do they all want done? So I don't get no fines or anything.
no, it's one of those deals where I think, it's like with that, the gate's up,
Yes, that's.
and someone had said that they thought that was garbage. I think those,
No,
those are soda cans. I think they're soda cans.
Yes, they are.
Because I looked at
There's
that
a
and
manure spreader sitting there, and that's what
yeah,
I.
no, I looked at
throw.
that and I said, that looks like recycling to me, so.
It is. It is.
Yeah, and that's why I said, I said, I don't believe those are garbage bags,
No,
bags of
no,
garbage.
no, I'm not gonna have.
Because we have a couple spots where people they're not soda cans, they are bags of garbage.
Right.
And so we're having to unfortunately,
As long
Do
as they
something
took
about
the
that.
picture, why didn't they go
Okay.
out back there and look?
what's that?
As long as they
Because
took the
they
picture,
didn't want to be
why didn't
trespassing, in other words,
Right.
what they're doing is, it's based on 4.5 feet off of the surface of, the road. In other words, what can be visually seen from 4.5 feet.
Okay.
So if someone's standing on top of their truck and complaining about what's over behind your
Okay.
fence,
Then-
you can tell them, guess what, I got another thing flying behind my fence for you, and usually it's a middle finger,
Yeah.
but that's what it comes down to is, there were a couple complaints,
Right.
and you put up a gate, it looks very nice, thank you. And I know road crew was very concerned about,
Yes,
taking
yes,
up,
I agree with them there.
because they don't wanna, have to pay for a vehicle, and you don't wanna have to pay for a truck, so,
Yep. No,
thank you,
I'm good there.
thank you. Pat Matthews?
That's me.
Yep.
My
And
concern is down the
Okay.
road here.
now, I had talked with your son-in-law?
No.
Okay. I was like, I wanna say, I talked with a gentleman who was, doing some cleanup down there, and,
But they're saying that we burnt insulation, which we did not. The people next door to us did. And they're also saying that we burnt rubber. No, we didn't. We had no rubber at all. There was no tires on my trailer, on my sister's house that exploded. None whatsoever.
yeah.
And then I hear over the scanner all the time, oh, control burn, control burn. If I can't have a control burn, why can everybody else have a control burn?
Okay. We had a series of complaints about the
Then
ongoing,
who are they? I have a right to know.
well, actually, you can file Freedom of Information Act,
Okay,
but when it comes to the names, they're redacted. I'm just telling you right now.
all right.
There were complaints about yours and the one next door. We've sent out and we contacted both.
But you
And,
gave them 60 days, or, oh, excuse me, you gave them 30 days. You didn't give me 30 days.
and, it's one of those deals where, because I did see roofing being burned down there. I saw, because I drive by, I saw a couple good bonfires going down there, and, the roof was in there, and that's probably the rubber that people were talking about. I didn't see any tires being burned, I didn't see that. I did see roofing, getting burned, with my own personal eyes.
Insulation, I think insulation too.
I don't know about, the insulation out of that building was white. I did see insulation go into the fire,
Not out of my sister's you didn't, because I can give you,
Okay,
I can tell you where the insulation was taken in bags.
no, I also saw there was burned insulation. Now, did you burn a whole bunch? No. But there was some, so that's where that came from. The rest of it did
So
get,
it's all,
no, the rest of it
you're
did
the
get,
only one that's seen it, and you're the only one that smelled it, right?
no, I am not the only one that smelled it.
Okay.
And it's one of those deals, did I make a complaint on it? No, because I realized it was being cleaned up.
They bitched about it when it was just sitting there, so then you take and have people clean it up so they can move there, and they're still bitching about it. There's,
Agreed.
I mean,
And the
there's
thing
no
is-
right or wrong.
But at this point, as I when I talked to the gentleman, he
Can I
says,
say something, Dave?
yes, go for it,
But
Abe.
you didn't talk to the landowner.
Okay, according to the code inspector, Matt Gorman, he said he gave a demolition permit out for that trailer several years ago, and he did not realize that that demolition permit was not completed.
No, he told
So
me,
yes, there was a call down there, he will tell you, he did issue Matthews a demolition permit, and they're supposed to do so much in 3 months, and supposed to inspect it, and somehow it got under the radar. So this really should have been done like 3 years ago when that
Okay.
demolition permit was issued.
no, because
Pat
she
wanted-
didn't die only 3 years ago.
What's that?
She didn't die but only 3 years ago. Hasn't even met 3 years yet.
Okay. But as I'm seeing it, minus some minor cleanup, the burning is done, so we have no issue there. You got some minor stuff to clean up. In other words, it looks like a rake. Go through, rake it up, and the problem is solved. In other words, but it's like, and like I told the gentleman who was working there, I want to say thank you. Done a lot of work. You got a lot of stuff out of there, and I see, probably a couple more days of just raking and throwing a few bags of stuff, and that's gone. You had a lot of stuff you were going on with down there, and I like I told him at the time, thank you. You're doing a good work. Unfortunately, when we do get written complaints, we have to do something about that. So we did something. And
But I don't understand why you gave the people next door 30 days and you didn't me. What is it, because he's a rhinehole and she's a hairdresser, in the community, and I'm nothing but just a landowner in two different places?
Okay. Number one, you're bringing up old arguments, and I love small town, lived here all my life, and, you know, it's like, it has nothing to do with being Rhinegold. Quite honestly, they're not as loved as some would say. That's another story altogether. And yes, that's gonna be on the recording, and yes, that's gonna go out on the internet. I'll say it to their face. I have. I believe it was the case, she was issued stuff before yours, and then yours was issued, so it came out about the same amount of time. And we had the same, problem with complaints. First, the complaints were based on what was happening at your place. Then we had complaints based on there. Both properties, the burning is basically, it's done. So that, we're not gonna pursue it any farther. In other words, it's done.
So then when we moved the new place in, and they want a bonfire out back,
No.
roast marshmallows and stuff.
That's
they
not,
can't have.
okay, that's a completely different issue. That's a different, in other words, it's like, you're not, are you gonna tear the new place down and burn that?
I hope not.
Oh, I hope not too, because it'd be great to see the new place in there. And so I told the gentleman, a couple different things, because you are dealing with a mobile home. You have to go to the tax collector and get a permit for moving mobile home. It's a tax permit.
You have to get it from the courthouse.
No, it's through Judy Walsh, the tax collector. This is a Ridgebury specific thing. Secondly, you need to have a full concrete slab underneath it with tie downs.
Right.
Okay, I'm only mentioning.
Matt Gorman told us that.
Okay, I'm just mentioning that because, and in Ridgebury, we're supposed to double block. And in other words, a lot of places, if you have someone moving it for you, they go to block it up. A lot of times they like to cheat you and do a single block. You tell them, no, it has to be double blocked. Don't let them overcharge you on that one. Because you will thank yourself, because if there's any shifting, single blocks they'll shift. And I'm just saying that so that you have as good, I'd love to see that place, come back to life again. That'd be great. It's a shame it sat there for a few years. Because I was like, what happened? I'd love to see that come back to life.
She died. That's what happened.
I did not, I hate to say it, I did not realize that. Because I try to be a good neighbor by ignoring what other people are doing. In other words, keep my nose out of it. Unfortunately, when I have a written complaint as a supervisor, I have to put my nose into it. I'm not thrilled with that one. But, the burning issue, since the cleanup is done, except for a little bit of raking, that's not an issue. In other words, and once the little bit of raking's done, you're ready to start, digging and putting in concrete. Yes, Tim?
I'm grateful both of those eyesores are being cleaned up.
Fair enough. And that's the thing. They're
It's
done.
too bad that somebody's got to complain about it, but
That's
I'm grateful it's being cleaned up.
Agreed. And I've been called in to do cleanup jobs and then gotten in trouble because someone didn't like the way I was cleaning it up. And I'm going, how do you want it cleaned up? That was at Sean Davis's trailer park years ago. One particular lady that lived over in Galvin's trailer park, she called DEP on me. Didn't like the way I was doing it. And they put a cease and desist on it. Wouldn't let it go for 6 months. Stuff blew up and down the road. It was a bigger mess than ever. Poor supervisors had to shake their head. They said, it had nothing to do with me. So yeah, I thank you for cleaning it up. And he told me which trailer you're moving in. I think it's going to look great there. The only question I have is, you're putting it in straight or you're putting it in a bit of an angle? I think,
The way that the house was.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I was just saying, consider, maybe putting it in a bit of an angle just to look neat, So, okay, they're bored, they want me to move on.
Do you have any
Okay.
other known commentary that you?
Okay.
listen
I apologize, I am not able to, are you? Someone else wrote down.
I would say,
Oh.
you already answered my questions.
Okay,
to? Can I interject something?
Yes, sir.
My name is Dale Walmsley. I live center of Centerville.
okay,
My aunt Mary Novotny had a house right behind my house. They tore down.
Okay,
The gas company ruined the water down there. That house is no longer habitable. Next door to her, he was offered a sale and didn't want to sell. That's another story, but he can't drink his water. The two trailers in that small trailer park on the other side of Terry Hughes' property, out in the back by the woods, that's shut down. As you know, Don Paris' house and the next one over, they got tore down.
yeah, I'd say,
The place across the road from me, across from Terry Hughes' that used to be
Nine
a
Gordon's.
deer cutting, that's gone.
yep, 9 of Gordon's.
At no point did the gas company come along and test my water. Let me tell you about my life. I have stage 4 cancer. My daughter gets her water from me. Her dog has passed away from cancer. Her cat has a tumor. I don't know the exact cancer that Terry's wife passed away from, but she passed away from cancer. And the guy on the other side of my daughter's trailer, he passed away from cancer. His new family living there. Who has looked at the water situation in Centerville?
I do not know.
It's an interesting question.
No.
I don't want to belittle everybody else's problems, but you have a major problem in Centerville. The town is going to die, so we don't get a handle on it. We need to get back on these gas companies and clean this shit up. They need to put in a water system that's clean water. My aunt, before they left, and I don't mean to make this a long story, I'm going to stretch it a bit more. They gave her a filtration system outdoors. It kept freezing up. They moved it into her cellar. It took a fourth of her cellar while the filtration. She was told no showers longer than 5 minutes in that filtered water. Not to drink or cook with that water. If she grew a garden out behind her house, don't eat the vegetables and the fruit. Why did they come to my house, Terry's house, and all of our neighborhood and test our water? Why do I have stage 4 cancer now? I'm not blaming you guys, but I think that this town needs to start asking some serious questions. Because I right now am planning on going to the papers and starting a story. And I wanted input from you guys as to what this town is doing. Who lives in Centerville in this room? Just me.
No, I was saying, other than Terry, Terry sometimes will be here, Terry Houston. I know Nina, she moved up to the Elmira Heights.
Yep.
Pete Burlingame, he moved, and John Chilson, he was planning, he wanted to put on an addition on the front of his house.
All I can have is a garage. You can't drink that water.
Yep, and from what I had heard is that it was basically because of very high methane contents.
Okay, I'll tell you that bullshit.
Okay.
But they told you that. They outright lied to you. Okay? My aunt and I communicated. I saw the documentation. I saw the test results, the metals in her water. It was more than, you could light her faucet on fire. No doubt. But the water itself was contaminated. When you pump it, this is a creek bed, Valley Creek.
Mm-hmm.
When you pump poison to that gas, they pump down the ground and frack, and they broke all the rocks in order to release the gas. Well, all that poison they pumped down there gets brought back up as the creek drains into those cracks and raises that poison up. Not to mention the one well that was on top of the hill off Burnham Road, they closed it down because of the leak. They put a second well in right next to it. But that second one will go. And now I see they closed down the well up by, where?
No, a lot of them, they've plugged the wells. Tim, yes.
Why don't you go and talk to John Chilson about who he got in? I'm sure he got compensated for losing his house.
Yeah, my aunt did $150,000. She planned on retiring and giving her kids a house. That does not cover that loss. 60 years she now. She lost her husband there and his son. That's $150,000 does not recover that expense.
Well, I agree with that.
Not at all.
Well, it's one of those things where I'm not even sure who we begin to talk to on something like that.
What I'm asking the town to do is put the bill and get some water testing. And not on Pennsylvania, we had the water tested. We compared to my aunt's water test. They never tested for heavy metals in Pennsylvania. my guess is that the gas companies work with all those water testing companies in Pennsylvania. Don't test for that other stuff. She had hers tested from an upstate New York firm that did the testing, and that's who found it. So I'm gonna recommend that if you guys do any testing, don't do it from a Pennsylvania firm, not at all.
Tim?
Get a hold of the county commissioners, they'll help you.
Yeah, I was like, is one of them a little easier to talk to than another?
I'm sorry?
He was,
Tom McClinko, Daryl Miller, both of them, they'll put them in the right direction to go
Okay.
talk to them.
I was saying, Tim was just saying, get a hold of the county commissioners, they can send you in the right direction.
Can somebody give me contact information for them? Are they public?
Yeah, and Tim, can you get contact information to him?
Yeah, I got it in my phone.
Okay. Tim's probably got him on speed dial. So,
I'm going to.
Well, they'll be on my speed dial pretty shortly.
okay. If nobody's got anything else, I know the gentleman, did you have something you needed?
Yeah, I got a phone call about market for road oil, and I tried to call back, and I guess you're doing it tomorrow?
Yeah.
So, I don't know who I want to talk to. Him.
Talk to Danny, he is the oil man.
Yep, I
So.
will,
So, okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies, and hope we've actually come to some conclusion here. So, but yeah, talk to Tim. He's got phone numbers for you. And I've been trying to find, just my own personal curiosity, I've been trying to find out a little bit about what's going on for the water down there, and nobody will talk straight.
And that's the problem. That's why I need to make this a fiasco.